Hey, what's up everybody? Today we're talking about 6 items you should remove from your home before listing it for sale. Number 4 is a gut punch and you won't expect it. Stay tuned as we find out how to turn your place into a buyer's dream space. Hey everyone, before we jump into the list, I wanted to let you know that if you have any real estate needs, go ahead and reach out to me via email and let me know what those are so that I can help you out. And if you're in the greater Austin area in Texas, go ahead and reach out. Let me know if I can help you with anything. Have a wonderful day. Let's jump into the list. Number 1, we've got to remove those personal photos. I know we love showing off all the places we've been in our lovely families, but we don't know who's coming into our home when we have it on the market. Yes, agents bring people in and we use things like Supra and lock boxes and all different sorts of tools to try and maintain and guarantee who's coming in and out of the home, but we don't always know who's actually accompanying those people, and we just want to make sure we're protecting those precious to us. So make sure that we remove all personal photos, especially those with children in them, because let's face it, there are crazy people in the world that do crazy things, and the last thing we want is to have to be Liam Neeson.
But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
The second thing we want to make sure that we remove from your home is all personal documents. So anything that has your name on it and has any pertinent information to you that reveals more about you than we want for them to know. Remember, the purpose of these items being removed is to make sure that the buyer doesn't see someone else living in the home. This would include removing any passports from the home, bills, mail, diplomas you have hanging on the wall, and I know you're proud of those, but we want to make sure we're not giving away more information about you than we need to. The third thing we want to make sure that is removed from the property and safe are any valuables, especially those that are smaller, that could fit in a pocket or in a purse and could vacate the premises without us being aware immediately. Are things like watches, your wallet, small electronics such as iPads, laptops, jewelry. Those things, we want to make sure that they're safe and we have them off the property, preferably, especially if they're smaller. Consider getting a security deposit box at a bank, but make sure that these items are removed from the property so that we don't have to worry about if they get taken in the process of people coming onto the property. And number 4, the gut punch. And this one hurts. We don't want your pets to be in the property when people are viewing it for several reasons. One, they're a liability. If someone comes in and they get bit or anything, you're responsible for that because you're responsible for the safety of people that are coming into your property. And let's face it, a lot of people are animal lovers. And while your dog may be great with you and knows that it knows, it may not be okay when someone else comes into the home. Maybe they feel threatened. Maybe they want to defend themselves and they feel like someone's invading their space. Because do remember, this is their space. For those of us who have pets, we know your pet doesn't live with you. You live with your pet. So the 4th thing we want to make sure is removed from the property are our pets. And the 5th thing that we want to make sure that we remove from your home before listing it for sale is all the extra clutter. This is probably the hardest one to do because when you do this correctly, your home is going to feel basically empty to you. It's going to feel very bare. But remember, the main point in this list of items is to make sure that the buyer sees themselves in the home, not someone else. So we want to make sure that any accent pieces are very, over the top items While we may love them, we want to make sure that they're out of the home and away from the property so that they can see themselves there as a blank canvas, that they can start to let their mind wander and go, oh, this painting would look great here, or this accent piece I really love would go great here. Again, we're wanting to make sure they see themselves in the home, not us. This is the hardest one on the list because, again, it's gonna feel empty. But really and truthfully, we want to have about 45% of the stuff here to make sure that we've accomplished this goal. The added benefit of making sure we get it to about that 45% mark is we remove a lot of trip hazards so we can help alleviate some liability we have when others are in our homes. The sixth thing that we want to make sure that's removed from your home before we list it on the market are any signs of distress. So if you're going through a divorce right now, we want to make sure that there's no signs that that divorce has happened. We want to make sure that there's not a half-empty closet that you can clearly tell recently the closet was full and there were two partners' clothes in there. We want to make sure that that's not the case. This may mean grabbing some other clothes to fill the closet out, or grabbing some additional things to make sure that you don't look like all of a sudden the home is half empty and it looks disheveled and out of place. This also goes to a previous point, making sure we don't have any divorce papers laying around that someone could get their hands on and recognize. The main reason for making sure that we don't show any signs of distress is a buyer might lowball us. A buyer might come in and go, oh, they need to sell this fast, so I can make a lower offer, and they're probably going to accept it because they're in quite a hurry to get rid of this home. We don't want that to happen. We want to make sure we get you the most for your home and get top dollar in the market. And this is one of the things we're going to need to make sure we do and remove all signs of distress from the home. A bonus item that I want to make sure that is removed from the home anytime buyers are viewing the property or open houses or anything, and we love you, but we don't want you at the property. There's several reasons for this. One, we can't get honest feedback from a potential buyer on things we may need to fix or things that may be wrong with the property that might not be fetching the price that we're asking for. So we want to make sure that we can gather that feedback from a potential buyer so that we can remedy those situations. We also want to make sure you're not at the property because let's say you have a family and your kids grew up and now they're gone and you're trying to sell the family home because you want to downsize into something smaller. And when your kids were in school and they were trick-or-treating, it was a safe neighborhood and it was a fantastic time. We don't want to convey any personal information like that to a potential buyer, and then they move in and it's not a safe neighborhood for trick-or-treating anymore, and or there's not really any kids in the neighborhood anymore, so it's not really something that would be expected anymore because things have changed since. This would also include potentially mentioning that, hey, the neighbor next door is super friendly, I have a great relationship with them, and then the buyer comes in and that buyer doesn't have a great relationship and has a bad relationship with them. We've now misrepresented something to them. We want to make sure that we're only presenting material facts about the home. And that's why, in this bonus tip, we want to make sure you're not in the home. We love you. We have a great relationship with you, but we want to make sure that we do the home and do the right thing by potential buyers to make sure that everybody leaves this process with a great feeling. So that's why this bonus tip is, please don't be in the home when we have people coming in. Well, that includes open houses. All right, everybody, there were items that you should remove from your home before listing it on the market for sale. Down in the comments below, let me know which one was the most surprising for you. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell icon so you'll be notified anytime I post a new video giving you tips to fetch top dollar in your market.